My name is Zinhle Mthombothi, and I am originally from Mpumalanga in Nelspruit in a township called Ngodini. I went to primary school and high school in Mpumalanga. My high school, I went to Kutsalani High School. Then when I finished my matric, I wasn't sure where I wanted to go, what I wanted to study. So I ended up choosing to go to Rhodes, and I was actually going to do geology when I went there. But then again, I wasn't sure which subjects to choose. So I went to the dean and then we sat down and then he told me, you did well in maths, you did well in physics, you did well in this study. So you could do geology and maybe you could choose to major in geology and chemistry and geology and maths. So at that time I liked chemistry. So I was like, oh, geology and chemistry sounds exciting. So I'm going to actually major in geology and chemistry. And yeah, first year went by. Yeah, geology didn't like me as much as I liked it. So my marks were never, I passed, but I wasn't impressed. And I struggled to study for it. Like studying for geology was one of the hardest things ever. Then when I got to my second year, I finally decided, nope, this is not happening. So let me just stop forcing things. Then I actually dropped it. I made it up to second year. Then I stopped and I was like, nope, I'm done with this. So in that case, I thought I was going to do chemistry actually. Then I got to third year. I was still doing maths, chemistry, and stats in that point at that time. So I thought I would major in like maths and chemistry or stats and chemistry, but that was my major. Then I got to third year and I got bored with chemistry, so bored. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing this again. Like I just couldn't. Then at that time I was doing maths and chemistry. Then I was like, oh, well, I like this maths thing and it seems to like me. So let's see where it goes. And then, yeah, so I started going to my professors in maths and I spoke to them. And actually, they were very excited to have more people wanting to do honors in maths because we don't do that. Like most people ran, like maybe after first year, they didn't do maths. So, yeah, I ended up doing my degree and I majored in maths and chemistry for my degree. Then, after my degree, I went on to do my honors in mathematics. And after that, I again, okay, so when I was doing my undergrad, I was running away from coding, anything to do with programming. Whenever there was a course that had programming in it, unless it was compulsory, I wouldn't do it. Like I was like, nope, that's not my thing. So I get to my honors and I'm like, I think I want to go work now. Then I start looking at like job adverts and all of them are like, you need to code, you need to know some sort of programming. And then I realized that I don't know anything about programming. Okay, I knew how to open R and MATLAB and do like simple functions, but still that was nothing. So I started looking around as to what I could do. Then I actually found out about AIMS, the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, which is in Muizenberg. So I got more information about it. And then again, I spoke to my professors at Rhodes about it. And they're like, oh, yeah, it is a good place if that's what you want to learn. So yeah, that's how I ended up actually applying to go to AIMS. And then after my honors at Rhodes, I actually went to AIMS. So while I was at AIMS, we had this workshop around May, June. It's called MMED, which is the meaningful modeling of epidemiological data. So attending the first few days, I actually liked what that course was doing. I liked the application of mathematics in public health and infectious diseases. So when it was time to do our project at AIMS, I actually did my project with SACIMA, which is the South African Center of Excellency for Epidemiological Modeling and Analysis. And then after AIMS, I actually went to SACIMA, which is based at Stellenbosch University. And I actually got my second master's degree in mathematics from Stellenbosch University. Then after my master's, which was at Stellenbosch, I actually got a post as a junior researcher, which is currently where I'm at. So currently I'm a junior researcher at SACIMA at Stellenbosch University. I'll give a few examples of how everyone actually uses mathematics daily, because every time you're at school, when you're learning maths, people are always like, but what am I going to do with this? How is this going to help me? But if you actually think about it, almost everything that you do is math, right? If you have to cook, for example, you need maths because you need your things to balance out, right? You need to know the proportion of meat you have and how much salt and spices you need for that to balance out. You can't just have meat and spices and salt. If you have a family and it's in the morning and you guys have to buy bread, again, if you know that on average all of you eat 4 slices of bread and there's like 3 of you in the house, you cannot go and buy 3 slices of bread. And how do you know that? It's because you did the maths. You know that if there's 3 of us and we all eat 4 slices of bread, we can do with 1 loaf. Or you go into the shop, we ladies love to shop. You at Mr. Price, and then they're like, oh, we have 25% off. That's math. You need to think, oh, this thing currently costs X amount, and then they're saying 25% off. How much am I going to pay when I get to the till? Again, that's math, right? That is mathematics that you're doing, realizing how much you're saving from this special. Even with your groceries, you always have this, we get this advertisements or this papers from the retail shops, right? They're like, you save 15 rand, or some of them will say you save 20%. That's maths, right? That's you doing maths to figure out if they're saying I'm saving 20%, how much am I exactly saving? If you want to ask your children to go buy something, you give them 20 rands, you're expecting change. You're doing maths, right? Like, okay, if I'm giving them 20 rands, they're buying something for 15 rands, I need 5 rand back. You did maths without even realizing that you did maths. But like, every decision that you make, it's maths. You have friends coming over, you need to buy drinks. Again, how many friends do you have? How many drinks does each person likely to drink? That's maths for you to know not to buy 100 drinks for only 3 people. Right. So it's like it's everywhere in everything that you do. But I think because we use it so much, it's not like when you do these things, you don't think when you get to the shop and you see 25% off, you don't think and like, ooh, when I learned maths, what did I learn about percentages? It's just there at the back of your head where you're just like, okay, fine, 100 rand minus 10% off, this is how much I'm paying. But you're not thinking, oh, I took a maths class when I was in this grade and they said percentages are this. So how do I then calculate that? You just do it because it's there, right? So it's like everywhere, but still, people will still ask you, how is maths going to help me? Everything that you do in life, it is maths. Everything that you do in life, it's maths. And all these programs, everything that we're using, they also use maths in the background to actually be able to come up with these programs. Your bank cards, your computer programs, everything, and in the background they use maths. But obviously, when it comes to you, they're not showing you all the coding that they did for you to be able to use this. So you just see the interface of it. You're not seeing the background of it. So at the end of the day, maths is everywhere. And I ended up saying, oh, I like health. I like public health. And let's see how that can work with my mathematics. So that's what I do. I apply maths in what? I apply maths in infectious diseases. I apply maths in public health, which is something that before to me, that wouldn't have made sense. Like, how are you using maths? Like now with everything that's going on with COVID, there's maths being involved. They are developing models. That's maths, right? They're doing all these models to do all these predictions.